Good afternoon, I'm Miss Sandra from Miss Sandra's Educational Services, and you may, if you saw any of my previous videos, remember that I spoke to you about SMART targets, and I told you how I'd used SMART targets myself for my New Year's resolutions. So I thought I'd just let you know that they're going really well. Okay, this year so far we're nearly through January, and I've kept to all the targets that I set. And they were always, of course, measurable. I've also shared with you in the last video my life targets that were made as SMART targets as well. And those life targets, you may remember, included travelling to 100 countries before the day I die. And I'm pleased to report that I've made progress towards these. Just recently I've booked two cruises for the coming year that will take me to a number of countries, albeit very briefly in some cases. And I do know that at the moment we don't know what's going to happen with this pandemic, but planning this is actually giving me a huge amount of excitement. And maybe when the time comes I would have to postpone, I don't know, but I hope not, because it's something I'm really looking forward to. But I just really want you to see how, you know, when you make targets for yourself, you do tend to get things done more, okay? If you've got targets and you know, whether they be ambitions through work, whatever it is, if you've got those targets, you're more likely to get things done. Okay, so set those targets SMART. Another concept that I said I would speak to you about is a SWOT analysis. Now, a SWOT analysis stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. And a lot of businesses, or in fact most businesses, will use this analysis to decide what they need to do in terms of marketing, and what they need to do in terms of product development, service development. And it really means that what we have to do is we look at the strengths, we look, what are our strengths as a company? Whatever those strengths are, we need to really market them and make sure people know about them, okay? Then we look at our weaknesses. What are the weaknesses of our business at this stage? What are those weaknesses? And when we decide what those weaknesses are, we need to put something in place to turn the weaknesses into strengths. What can we do to take away these weaknesses and put them into the strengths box? Then we have opportunities and threats. Now, opportunities and threats are outside issues that may come along and threaten your business. So, for example, Miss Sandra's Educational Services that was set up to develop and give training to teachers, to provide opportunities for students to supplement their study. That was very much threatened and remained threatened from the pandemic that we have. And therefore I had to look at other ways of making the business work. So looking at my strengths and looking at my weaknesses helped me to do that, okay? So what a company must do is to look at what those threats are, and if those threats actually materialise, how are we going to deal with it, okay? But also opportunities. Perhaps you've set up a business in quite a quiet suburb and suddenly realise that there's a new school opening close by, and maybe you sell children's books. I mean, what an opportunity. Okay, so there are opportunities that come along. They're not necessarily made by you, but you have to take them and make the most of them. And the same with the threats. Those threats, they can't be helped by you. They are there from the outside. But you can do something about it, and you can minimise the effects of that threat on your business. So I've had to look at diversifying as a result of the pandemic, and I used a SWOT analysis. I looked at what my strengths were. What do I do well? It's not enough to base your business on something you like or you want. What can you do well? And what are you not so good at? Where do you perhaps need some development? And I realised that I still like working with students, which is why I tended to veer towards coaching students for their careers, for language, or for business. So many ways in which I can use what I believe are my strengths. So we've looked already at SMART targets you need to set yourself, and you'll need to do a SWOT analysis every so often, maybe every 6 months to a year, to check where are you, what are your strengths, what are you doing about it, show everyone your strengths, or your weaknesses, eliminate them, find ways to eliminate those or to make them into strengths. Very often that's training and development. Okay, hope you found that useful. If you have, please like, and if you have any comments regarding it, I'd love to hear from you. Please follow me on Instagram, and please subscribe to my channel on YouTube and turn on notifications. Thank you very much. Bye bye.